Mobility and having dexterity in your fingers can be really important when you're practicing any kind of acupuncture, but of course, Japanese acupuncture and moxibustion. Dexterity is just so important because Japanese acupuncture techniques require so much fine and detailed movements with your fingers. So today I'd like to give you a few stretches to really make your hands more nimble and get you ready for practice each day. These are not only going to help you with your techniques every day, help you get more in tune with ki, have better palpation, but it's also going to prevent you from creating like carpal tunnel or any kind of like stress in your arms and shoulders. So let's get started. So my name is Maya Suzuki, and you have found your way to ShinKyu University here on YouTube, the best place to get free advice on Japanese acupuncture, moxibustion, and palpation techniques with a little bit of theory and other stuff thrown in on the side. I really do appreciate you coming here and spending your time with me today, and of course taking the time to make your practice better. If you would like to continue learning, I really do highly suggest that you hit that like, subscribe, and the little bell down there to make sure you get updated whenever I put up new weeks here on this platform. So the inspiration for this video came because I just saw a recent post in one of my groups on Facebook saying that someone was just really unsure about doing moxa and that their moxa practice was very time consuming and they just didn't know how to work around how much time it took to roll the moxa. But really, if you have proper dexterity with your hands, it shouldn't take a lot of time to roll your moxa or do any advanced technique. So I want to give you some techniques that my teachers taught me in school, and they're really super easy, and they're things that you can do in between your treatments or in the morning to get ready for your practice or in the afternoon. All right, let's start off with some really basic hand techniques. So the first thing I really want you to do is to take your hands and I want you to spread your fingers as wide as you can possibly get them, right? So we're just spreading our fingers nice and wide. Make sure that you try to spread each individual finger, so the pinky in between that third finger, the middle finger in between the index and the third finger, and of course the thumb, and just really try to stretch it out. So nice and stretched. All right, and then you're gonna relax. I like to just move my fingers a little bit. Relax your hands down, and then one more time we're gonna do the same stretch. Really stretching out all of our fingers, trying to stretch out each individual finger from other individual fingers. Make sure you're breathing through that process and relax. So in school, you probably had a few techniques already taught to you. One of them, of course, is those Chinese balls where you can like spin the balls around in your hand. Spinning those in both directions are really good for hand dexterity. So if you have those in the office, of course, doing that and adding that in is great. I just don't have them here. If you don't have those balls, it's no big deal. Get some golf balls. They are a really good supplement to having those Chinese balls. Okay, so let's do the next stretch. So, so now we're going to take each individual finger and we're going to pull each individual finger back, just going to the max that you can stretch it. I'm pretty flexible. You don't have to be this flexible. Usually the pinkies are a little bit harder, and then of course the thumb is a little bit harder to stretch. We're going to do that on each hand, trying to stretch our fingers back and give as much dexterity as we can. And then the last one. Okay, and we're going to just do a little bit of relaxation. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is actually for our wrists. So we're going to take both wrists and we're going to put them together and then just try to bring our elbows down together. Good, and then the next one is just simple prayer hands, but trying to bring your elbows up. So your elbows kind of touch each other, or not really touch each other, but they're going to come up so like they're touching each other. All right, so those are just two really nice ones for your wrists. You can also rotate your wrists in either direction. Those are really, really great too. Okay, so now we've done a few different stretches. We've stretched our fingers out, we've pulled them back, we've stretched our wrists in both directions, we've rolled our wrists possibly. Now we're gonna do something a little different. So we're gonna interlace our fingers here, and we're gonna roll our fingers. And what this does is really massage the area in between the knuckles. And you're gonna want to, so I just had this the comfortable way for me. Now I'm going to interlace my fingers the uncomfortable way and do the same thing. Just giving myself a little bit of massage on my fingers. Helps to get the blood flow going. Good. Okay, so the next thing that I'm actually going to have you do is actually a massage for your forearm. So it's not as much of a stretch for your fingers, but just a bit of massage. All right, so for this one, you're actually going to want to have a chair next to you or be on your bed or the floor. And this is actually a massage that I recommend to a lot of my clients who get carpal tunnel or do a lot of typing. So feel free to steal this one as well. Also, again, none of this is my idea. I actually got this massage in particular from an acupuncturist I used to work at Accurate Acupuncture Clinic. All the stretches I actually learned at school at ShinKyu. All right, so let's get into the massage. All right, so what you're gonna wanna do is put your forearm on some place that can go flat, like for example, this chair or a bed or even the floor. And then you're gonna take your knee and you're just going to, probably be a bit easier if it wasn't a swirly chair. And you're just gonna use the weight of your leg to really massage your forearm. And this feels amazing if you have really tight forearms or if you're one of those people who tend to get carpal tunnel. You can also take your knee and put it straight into your palm, and you can actually massage your hand really nicely. So I really love that massage, especially when I'm just feeling really tired and I don't feel like doing all my stretches. A little bit of massage can go a long way to get the blood flowing in your hands. It's also a really great technique if you have cold hands or even actually if you have sweaty hands. If you have either of those, by the way, I highly recommend you check out this video up here. It should be linked somewhere up here about how to stop rolling your moxa with sweaty hands and how it really does ruin your moxa, and some tips and tricks on how to fix that. So the last and final stretch that I'd love for you to try to practice out is we're going to take all of our fingers and we're going to just stretch them back all at the same time. This is a really great stretch to not only stretch, of course, your hand, but really your forearm. Now, there are, of course, varieties of ways that you can do this, like integrating yoga into your practice, or using a wall, of course, to like push up against the wall. Those are all really good things. So if you want to be creative with this, please do go ahead. Some strength practices that you can, of course, include, and this is going to kind of give me away as being a Trekkie, is you can start coming here. So, right, being a little bit of a Trekkie here, and then you can go and switch and try to see how quickly you can switch your fingers. This is going to help to build up strength in the hand here, and strength in the hand. It's not that I want you to be really strong-handed with your needle, but I want your hands to feel solid and quite large. So there's a saying in Japan that if you have really big hands, you're going to make a lot of money because they actually feel more secure to the client. So doing things like this, also doing things like drumming your nails in both directions on both hands, are really, really good techniques to help strengthen the dexterity of your hand. So in my next video, I'm going to go all into how to use your actual needle handle, so something that you might have actually thrown away, to improve some dexterity in your hands. So stay tuned for that video next week. All right, so I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please, again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video. Hit the little bell to be notified when we have new videos come out. If you have any more stretches to share with the community, I would love for you to comment below so that way we can all learn and become a little bit more flexible and have more dexterity in our fingers as a community. I think it's a really good thing to continue to build on all of our techniques, including my own. So I'd love to hear your comments and suggestions. Now, if you would like to continue learning and figuring out how sweaty hands really does ruin your moxa, again, you can check out this video right here. I also have some tips and tricks in there on how you can fix your hands from being sweaty right now as you continue to use self-practice and a few other little tools to make those sweaty hands finally disappear. I hope you had a great time watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Please do keep practicing.